So yesterday we hit a new milestone here on the channel. We got to 80,000 subscribers, which is crazy. And I thought I would take this little opportunity to do a chat video because I haven't done one in ages. And I wanted to chat about some of the comments, some of the common questions I get, just for the new people that are here. So I actually went onto AI, I went to ChatGPT, and I asked ChatGPT to tell me what the top 5 questions were across YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Top 5 questions, top 5 comments, top 5 negative comments, and the top 5 kindest comments. So these aren't exactly, I suppose, word for word comments. I think ChatGPT has looked at what the most common types of questions are and summarized it into a question. Okay, so stay around for the negative ones because they're always juicy and fun. Let's start with the top 5 questions. Top question across all social media is, how do you learn all the dances? Okay, definitely the most common question. That one is definitely correct. So I explain this quite a lot in the comments section whenever someone asks me how I do it. And I have made a separate reel actually on the process. But basically, I find a dance I like, I screen record it just on my iPhone, and then I open CapCut, which is a free video editing app. I go to the speed, I slow it down to 70%, I then export it to my camera roll, and then I can literally play it and I can, scroll back and forward over sections, pause it, go back, just watch little bits at a time. I learn little sections, then I go on to the next, add it together, and I just learn it that way. It's literally watching and copying at a speed that works for me. So that is possible for anybody. You don't need any special apps or programs or anything. You literally just need your phone. So really couldn't be any easier than that. Second top question that I get asked is, where can I learn from you? So you can learn from me right here on YouTube. I do all my tutorials for free. So I don't do a tutorial for every single dance that I learn. That would take way too much time. But I do the ones that I love and that I think would be popular. I split them up into easy, medium, and hard. Sometimes it's not necessarily that the dance is easy, but it might be the way that I'm teaching it is for a beginner. So it's a beginner dance in terms of I'm teaching it really slowly, but it still could have some tricky moves. So anyway, that's where you can learn from me. I also have a beginner shuffle course, which is on my website, danceremixnat.com, where you can learn to shuffle. What inspired you to dance again after so long? That is a good question. It was a couple of years ago. Oh, well, actually, it was probably around COVID when reels became more popular, shuffling came out, and obviously we're all home a lot more. And I remember starting to see shuffle videos, and I tried a couple just by watching, like I said. And then after COVID, my mum had to move into a nursing home, and I think it just made me more aware of the getting older process and the fact that being mobile plays such a huge role in what life looks like when you get older. And it sort of just triggered something in my brain where I thought I need to move more regularly. I've always been fairly active, but I wasn't doing anything regularly, and I wasn't doing anything that really brought me a great deal of joy. So I think that whole process of watching my mum and seeing other family members struggling with some aches and pains and stuff, I was just like, oh, this is a wake-up call. So I just decided to start dancing every day. I'd already started doing a few remixes here and there on my other page, on my business page. And that was starting to confuse things over there. So I just started danceremix now on Instagram, started posting pretty much every day, purely because I wanted to move more. I wanted to feel better about myself. I started gaining some weight. I could just feel the energy and the vibes were low. Things were starting to feel a little bit more difficult. I could feel some old injuries playing up, and I was just like, I don't want to feel this. I want to feel really great. So, and I'd always loved dancing. I danced as a kid, but then I stopped for most of my adult life, but I was always dancing in my mind, just always choreographing in my head. If dancing was on TV, I would love it. I, dance around the house to music here and there, but nothing structured like what I'm doing now. So yeah, that's kind of what inspired me to start. And it's just yeah, I just haven't been able to stop. Question 4, where do you find the dancers? All on Instagram, pretty much, occasionally on YouTube and Facebook, but mainly Instagram is where I get most of my inspiration from. And how do you stay motivated to dance daily? To be honest now, it's not really about motivation. I just feel the need to. Like, I feel so good when I dance that when I don't dance, I get this like, it's like an unpleasant like feeling of, if I'm sitting around for too long, my legs just want to move, they just want to dance. And I suppose I just keep that long-term, I keep a long-term vision in mind in terms of I want to stay mobile when I'm older, and that requires me to move today. You know, it's not something that I can think about in 20 years time and fix then. I have to do it now. So that keeps me doing it, but also it helps me to stay in the moment. So if I'm dancing, it takes me out of my head. I can be quite an overthinker. So by dancing, it keeps me here, right here in this room, in this moment, here in my body right now. I can't overthink things. I can't think about things or worry. It just brings me right back. So yeah, that's another huge incentive for dancing every day. Okay. So that was the top 5 questions. Now we've got the top 5 comments. So number 1 comment, you make me want to dance again. That is the best comment. Like, I love that because I want everyone else to be dancing as well, because I just feel like it solves so many problems. You know, besides just making you feel good, it's great mentally, it's great for the body, it makes you fit, strong, it's great for, you know, staving off things like dementia and other physical problems, mental problems. It's so good. It's so good. So I love hearing that. I want everybody to be dancing. So if you're inspired, perfect. Okay, the second one, your joy is infectious. That is great. Who doesn't love to hear that? What a beautiful comment. I love that you can feel the joy that I'm feeling from the dancing through the screen while you're watching. And I agree. Like, I feel the same. If I go and see a show that has dancing, or I'm watching something on TV about dancing, there is like a transmission of the joy. Is that the right word? But it's like secondhand joy. You know, from watching someone else feel joy, you feel joy too. It's totally a thing. So I love that. The third comment, I can't stop watching. That's great. I'm glad you can't stop watching. Great comment. That could be in relation to like a particular reel. Someone might be like, you know, I just want to watch it over and over again. Or someone will say, this reel goes for 10 hours. And I've of course come across reels like that where you just want to keep watching. So beautiful comment. Thank you. You're my daily motivation, number 4. If me dancing helps to motivate you to get up and move, whether it be dancing, walking, whatever it is, just getting up off your bum and moving around more, then brilliant. And 5, thank you for being authentic. That's also a really beautiful comment. I am myself when I do my videos. I'm not putting anything on. This is who I am. So if that's coming across and people are liking that, then like, you know, what a compliment, what a beautiful compliment. So love it. All right, now we're on to the top 5 negative comments. I'm sure you're waiting to hear what these ones are. Yes, majority of the comments I get are pleasant, are lovely, from kind people, but there are other people out there who want to say negative stuff. That's okay. I mean, I respect everyone's opinion. You can give me negative feedback and it can be done in a nice way. It can be done in a constructive way. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just plain mean, and I don't see why that's necessary. But anyway, the top negative comment I get is, you're not as good as the other dancer. Okay, that's a fair comment sometimes. I don't feel like it's a necessary comment, but that's not always my goal. Actually, it's never my goal to be better than the other dancer. I'm not seeing it as a competition. I love dancing with someone else. I love the challenge of trying to match the moves and make it look as unison and as in sync as possible. That's just fun. I find it fun. I love the visual effect. So the goal is not to compete with the other dancer. It's not to be better than. It is to be as good as. And I know that I don't always achieve that. I am choosing dancers at times that are hard for me, and the dancers are better, younger, fitter, whatever. So it's not always going to be as good as, but I just love giving it a go. I love the challenge of it. So fair enough. Number 2, you're lazy, sloppy, or too soft. Okay, I definitely don't consider myself lazy, so I don't like that comment. Sloppy, I don't know, maybe sometimes if I'm tired, if I've been doing a dance over and over, a lot of times I'm getting tired, so it may start to look a bit soft. Dancing requires a lot more strength and energy than I certainly gave it credit for. And when you watch other dancers, people can make it look quite easy, and, they could be doing an arm move that you're like, oh, that's easy, but you try it and you try to make it look as strong as them. And it's so much harder than you think. You have to give it like your full energy plus some to make it match. So I'm always giving it 110%. If I look lazy or sloppy, that's just how it is. That's as good as I can do. And I'm happy with that. All right, number 3, this isn't real dancing. Okay, this comment annoys me because what is it if it's not real dancing? If someone jumps onto one of my dance reels and it might be something that's maybe not as dancey as something as, another dance, and they jump in and make this comment, I challenge them to go and look at the other reels and see what else I do, because I think judging off one dance is a little harsh. I think you need to look at, a few videos to decide whether I'm actually doing real dancing or not. Okay, number 4, this is cringe, go get a job. Okay, being called cringe or embarrassing, that's never nice. But, I'm getting better at just laughing these comments off. In terms of the go get a job comment, I do actually have a job. I don't make much of a living through doing this, these dances. Instagram don't pay. I'm in Australia. You don't get any money from Instagram in Australia. Facebook, you don't get money either. I get occasional stars from people, which is lovely, which is a little bit of income, but we're talking maybe like, I think last month, maybe $12. YouTube is the only place where you can make some reasonable money. And even so, even for me, because any money that I do make comes from my shorts, it's very small. So it's not a lot of money. It's not enough to actually support even one person. So I do have a job. Yes, I have my own job. I work for myself. I've worked for myself for just over 15 years. I'm a graphic designer. I do websites. So I do work. I make a living. And even if I didn't have a job, why would that matter? I'm not hurting anybody else by dancing. I'm doing something that's good for me, that makes me happy, and that, according to these comments, makes lots of other people happy. And the 5th negative comment is, you're just copying other people, be original. Oh, this one is frustrating, because what do you think most dancers are doing when they're learning to dance? They're looking at a teacher, they're copying what the teacher is doing, and they're doing the same moves. And often, if people are dancing in a group, often the key is to all look like you're dancing as one. That's what makes it look really cool. If everyone's up there doing everything different, then it could look really messy. So yes, I'm copying other people, but I suppose a lot of dancers are learning moves from a choreographer and then they're doing their own video by themselves. I could do that, but I like dancing next to someone else. Like, it gives me confidence to dance with someone else. And I think it looks cool. Like, when it works, I think it looks cool. So I guess I am copying, but I just feel like in the world of dancing, like that's okay. Not all dancers are choreographers. Not all dancers are putting out unique dance material all the time. I do my own choreography occasionally. I'm trying to do it more, but it is difficult. It can be really challenging. Sometimes I just want to copy someone else and just share the fun with them. So yeah. All right. And lastly, the top 5 kindest comments. You've inspired me to dance again, which we sort of had that in the top 5 comments. So that one already been covered. I've never seen someone dance with so much happiness. So I love that. That's beautiful. I do feel extremely happy when I dance, and I'm glad that comes across in my videos. You make me feel like it's okay to dance even if I'm not perfect. That's a great comment, because I know I have had a lot of comments along those lines where people say so much dance content is people that are like super slim, super young, super hot, blah, blah, blah. I actually had a comment from one lady once that said, I love that you're not super young, super slim, or super anything. which I suppose some people could take that as, you know, a little bit offensive, but I knew where she was coming from, and I didn't take offense to that at all. I like that people can see that I'm just a regular person, and that they can feel inspired and feel like they can see a bit of themselves in me, and see that it is possible just for the average Jane to do something cool, to have fun, to feel joyful, to move in this fun way. It's not just exclusively for the young, hot, slim 20-year-old who, you know, looks amazing all the time. It's okay for the middle-aged mum in her trackies to get up there and give it a go and feel all the same things that the young dancer's feeling. You know, it may not look as cool, or it may not be as amazing, but for me inside, it feels just as good. And maybe it feels even better because there's no, like, I don't feel any pressure. Like, I don't feel pressure as a young dancer to have to look a certain way. I don't feel pressure to have to compete, to be in a class surrounded by other amazing young 20-somethings, to have to audition for jobs. Like, there's none of that. I'm purely just doing it because it just makes me feel great, and it's so much fun. As I said previously, it's not like I don't rely on this as an income source. So this is purely a feel good, feel amazing thing. So yeah, if you can relate to me and feel like it's possible for you, then amazing. Okay, number 4, you're my favorite creator to watch. You make me smile. That's, like, how flattering is that? There's so many people creating content, and for me to be a favorite that's extremely touching. I love that. And the last one, this made my day, thank you. Again, I love those comments. Like, to think that I can pop up in your feed and, you know, make your day feel a little bit more joyful, happy, whatever it is amazing. So that's the comments. That's the top 5. That's what AI have decided are your most common questions, comments, good feedback, bad feedback. I welcome all the feedback. I do love when you take a moment to leave me a comment or send me a message or a DM or whatever it is. I love hearing your stories. I love to hear why you feel inspired to dance, what it is you're doing. Send me dances if there's stuff that you would love to see me remix. Like, I love the conversation. So the more of that, the better. Thank you for being here. All 80,000+ of you now. Super amazing. I'm excited just to keep dancing and just to keep putting out tutorials for you guys to try. I'm trying to do one every couple of weeks. But yeah, if you've got requests, please just send them through. And I think that's it. I'll see you in the next chat video, whenever that is.